All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a match between 120 versus Hawk. This game taking place here on Amazonia, pulled from WGL March qualifiers. Some great, interesting matchups and games have been played from here. If you guys haven't checked them out, definitely do so. As well, it feels like there's been a revitalization of WarCraft 3 here in 2020. Thank you for tuning in with me. I am, well, your caster if you choose to accept me in this matchup here. Altar of Kings being built, Hawk opening up, pretty standard. Very, rare do human build orders deviate at this stage or point in the game. Meanwhile, looking at the Undead 120s opening, gonna be an Altar of Darkness. There's that crypt. It looks like there's gonna be an opening of ghouls, and then maybe an eventual transition into Crypt Fiends, as the graveyard is not yet down. Bottom left hand side of the map, we'll see where everything is going to be unlocking here. Altar of Kings, there is an Archmage. No big surprise. Most likely going up against a Death Knight. Wait for the ziggurat. There. Ooh. 120 opening up with a Lich. Now, we've seen Liches normally in matchups where it is an undead versus undead mirror. The Lich is naturally immune to your opponent's Death Knight nuke, and while having a ranged nuke and a range attack of his own. With this, though, the Lich is generally a very squishy based hero. Also, its movement speed in the past really didn't allow for the Lich to be first. If you guys remember, in one of the more recent patches that Blizzard updated, they increased the hero speed of all of the heroes, or the movement speed of all the heroes, allowing a Lich first, even in this matchup, for perhaps the Lich to be able to get away from any sort of dire situations. Archmage is going to go ahead and try and engage right across over here. Let's take a look. Renegade Wizard drops a Purge onto a Militia. Meanwhile, there is that Water Elemental trying to fight against 3 rogues. Not necessarily the best idea. Ring of Protection picked up as we're looking at the remaining rogues now get taken down. Battle of the Brains here, as it is a Lich versus an Archmage. I think I've cast maybe a Lich versus Archmage in the past over my 10-year history of casting WarCraft 3, but it is not altogether that common. Now, Archmage going to make its way off to the north here. Already seen that level 2. You can see ghouls are out, and the ghouls going to have a bit of a problem. Archmage, I believe, stole that experience right there, but a big Frost Nova onto a Footman, and that Footman could get taken down. All right, is it going to get denied? Yes, it does. Lich's ice attack was on its way, but the Archmage launched a fireball of its own. Water Elemental now going after the Lich instead. Damage going back the other way. This low hit point ghoul, well, not low hit point ghoul, but soon to be low hit point ghoul, trying to attempt to run away again. All right, coming back through the other side. Let's take a look. A couple of skeletal minions could get taken down. There goes another one again, as 120 is just giving Hawk some extra experience with all of these skeletal minions. It looks like Undead is as good as human on expansion in the current version. With the Sacrificial Skull, I wouldn't say that Undead is just as good as humans on expansion. You have to buy that additional blight item, that Sacrificial Skull, to even set it up, and then you are going to be exposed much longer, since you can't speed build any of those things, and you're forced to almost have your hero stay close to that expansion. That's one of the reasons why Dreadlord works so well in that matchup, as you're able to sleep your opposing enemy's hero and then just lay down a surround. You're almost challenging your opponent to say, if you want to harass me with your hero, you have to be willing, or you may have to be extra careful, just because, well, a bad sleep could cause some serious problems. All right, going after some of those units now. Kobold Taskmaster, what's going to end up happening? There's that Frost Nova Archmage, however, picks up the Circlet of Nobility, getting some easy kills onto the skeletal minions, as one more shot onto that skeletal minion would have finished him off, but the Lich does the job instead. What are your thoughts about Sacrificial Dagger, by the way? Turned out not to be very useful. Yeah, not very useful. I think giving additional healing to the undead early on was a really good idea, but I think it just fell a little bit flat. I would actually like, I think I said this in the town hall, I think I would if it was me, I would remove the sacrificial dagger and then give Wand of Negation to the undead at tier 2, because as it stands right now, all of the dispel magic abilities for the undead is deep inside tier 3 in that devour magic, and it is extremely expensive, so it almost forces undead players to have to try and go. Thank you for the bits. Yeah, thank you for the 401, April Fool. All right, perfect. But yeah, thank you right there. Always one extra bit. I don't know, would I? Yeah, but yeah, thank you for all of that right there. So where was I with my thought? Yeah, forcing undead to always have to go into Black Citadel if they wanted to be able to deal with slow or any of the debuff effects. Thank you, YKJ. I think you are definitely in the all-time leaderboard for bits on Twitch. Something. If there was someone who wants to challenge him, I'm so for it. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down still. Slaughterhouse gonna get pressured here. Slaughterhouse number 1 gonna get canceled. Slaughterhouse number 2, however, still currently under construction. Water Elemental dealing a lot of damage, and the Gloves of Haste allowing the Archmage to really push in a lot of damage onto that Slaughterhouse. Wand of Negation, old school item. Yep. Footman now trying to just dive on in here. Slaughterhouse down to 147. If it actually gets taken down, that would be huge. I'm not quite sure what the Footman's doing as the Lich falls at level 3. New Slaughterhouse was built as well, but that is going to be a major reset in the production of those obsidian statues, and also the research of destroyer form if you did try and, well, stop that. Mountain King currently out on the play. Thank you, Lupin, for the subscription. Mountain King, however, quickly surrounded. That could be a problem as a low hit point ghoul able to get away. Trying to finish off some more units. There it goes. Mountain King gets a ring of protection, trying to retreat, but a Frost Nova destroys him anyways. All right, low hit point ghoul down to 29 hit points, but able to retreat once more. One more shot from the Archmage would have done it, but a timely retreat was in order. Low hit point ghoul, where is he going? Why is he actually off over here, able to run back around? A 120 sitting at 29 supply compared to Hawk's 41, and Hawk right now does not have an expansion. That is a very big deal, as the Death Knight now goes after the Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, and looking to clear up some more creeps as well. Archmage at level 3. Clarity Potion on the Archmage here. Are we perhaps going to be looking at Militia joining in on the fight in order to, well, build up an expansion? I think that is going to be the case. There's a quick and snare. Water Elemental in the front. Rifleman now doing some target practice as we see, well, Footman now getting taken down. Archmage joining, well, still looking to get a little bit more mana as the Mountain King wants to get to level 2. Archmage purposely backing up to make that, well, make the Mountain King's dreams happen. Death Knight, however, shows up to the party. Archmage going to turn back around, try to fight Stormbolt onto the Death Knight, but only the level 1 variety, not dealing that much damage. Frost Nova straight up onto the Priest, but the Priest gets healed just in time by his fellow brethren and able to stay alive. Mountain King wants to deliver a Stormbolt to that ghoul and does so, sniping it down. Mountain King still sitting at level 1 though, as the Archmage may purposely try and pull the Renegade Wizard back and these remaining units. This is a little bit dangerous, knowing that your opponent is right nearby. The in comes 120 here, as we're going to see a little bit of damage come across. Low hit point Footman absorbing quite a bit of damage, and this Sentry Ward positioned in such a way that, well, 120 knows exactly what is going on all the time. Low hit point Footman could be in trouble. One, a mana stealing, takes the mana away from the Lich, denies the ability to get a big Frost Nova, as Hawk's Footman could end up getting taken down. Where are the additional heals as Hawk's Footman gets shot down by a Rifleman in his attempt to retreat? Stormbolt could be going down there. There's a Stormbolt. However, a Death Knight with the Death Coil able to get in front. Mountain King still has a wand of mana stealing. Is he going to be able to use it in time? There is another Death Coil, getting that Lich back up to, well, almost 400 hit points, as the Death Knight and the Lich now finally back up. A flying boar would be cool. It always reminds me of Mirrodin's death. It's so sad. Archmage now making its way back over. Renegade Wizard Enforcers. All of these creeps gonna end up falling now. Mountain King will finally get to level 2, and the Archmage can actually stick around to try to get to level 4. Rifleman, well, needing a little bit of separation. Priest now joining in as the Lich and Death Knight now make its way back over. In comes an Abomination as well, and it does have Disease Cloud. That could spell problems, as the Priest needs to heal up that Archmage. Archmage down to 353 hit points. Not safe when there is a level 3 Lich and a level 1 Death Knight nearby. Alright, let's take units still making their way back around. Mountain King showing up to the Bardi. Death Knight still has plenty of mana. Renegade Wizard could just get Storm Bolted down. That is level 5 as the Abomination now tries to make its way forward. A Storm Bolt onto an Abomination, but at this point not going to do very much. We are looking at a Rifleman getting shot down and followed by a Death Coil. The Abomination down to 335 hit points. It's trying to back away, but the Abominations are purposely also spreading Disease Cloud across multiple units. Obsidian Statues taking quite a bit of damage. They're going to be forced to retreat since the Death Knight, Abomination, and Lich dove in a bit too far. More Abominations, however, showing up to the party. And with that normal damage, going to deal bonus damage to those Riflemen. One very low hit point Rifleman finally taken down there. Meanwhile, the Priest now trying to get healed back up. Death Coil finishes off that lonesome Priest again. Lich could be in trouble. Mountain King making its way back over. Stormbolt. Scroll of Town Portal going to be used in time, most likely. There it goes as another Rifleman shot down. Hawk losing units while 120 able to escape with all of his units because of that Scroll of Town Portal. Would I like more map variety? At this point, at this point, I don't even know how many good map makers are out there for Warcraft 3. Map variety does cause some issues, like just like the types of trolls and frost armor being used on a map. If you're using an ice tile set, all of a sudden can change the balance dramatically. Early the frost tile set generally ends up favoring Night Elf since they have more ranged units early on, allowing them to still creep efficiently, unlike say for the orc or humans who have to spend a little bit more to try to get those ranged units, and then their attack speed is slowed. Anyways, going back down into this, we're taking a look at big engagements right here. Riflemen trying to fight across multiple Abominations, but the Abominations, so many of them, 4 of them out on the field. Death Knight gets up to almost at level 3, has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability and to stay alive a little while longer, and we should be looking at level 3 Death Knight soon for level 2 Death Coil. Mountain King finishes off the Death Knight though, as that Potion of Invulnerability didn't last long enough. 4 Abominations going up against a sea of Riflemen, but there are Sorceresses to slow them down too. Mountain King still has plenty of mana. Stormbolt onto the Lich. Are we going to get some damage onto the Lich, as we're going to see a Abomination down to 27 hit points, able to escape. Archmage wants to chase after all those units, but we see 3 very slow hit point units. There's some Devour Magic again. Mountain King doesn't have enough mana, but he is chasing, gets in a lucky bash onto that unit, as we see a, well, Sacrificial or Dark Ritual there. Stormbolt onto the Abomination. Are we going to see another Dark Ritual? No, we are not. It looked like there was the animation for Frost Nova onto that Mountain King, but the Potion of Invulnerability was used in time. Frost Nova onto one lonesome Rifleman, slow being cast onto that Lich instead, trying to pick off some of those back units. Priests are trying to heal up as well, as the Lich picks off two more units, allowing, well, trying to avenge that Death Knight. Archmage here, ready to go. Mountain King, 4-3 rifle caster, an old school strategy being used here. Adept training on the Priest, only no additional training on the Sorceresses, as we are now going into tier 3. Rifleman upgrades, yeah, 1-0. So a little bit of upgrades are for all of these units. Meanwhile, what is going on here? The Lich, oh, Abomination, is it going to get taken down? The Abomination trying to run away. Mountain King may be able to get off a Stormbolt, does it, and a split second up before that Death Coil. That was absolutely huge, losing the 75 mana on the Death Knight as well. Archmage could be in trouble. Are we going to see that Mountain King perhaps try to turn things back around again? Mountain King going after the Abomination. Water Elemental now dropping down. We could be looking at some Devour Magic as well for that Destroyer, eating up those Water Elementals, as we see an Abomination getting Death Coiled again. All right, Devour Magic, restoring hit points and mana on that Destroyer. Slow, however, still being cast across multiple units, as the Abomination, well, may have to dodge another Stormbolt soon. No, Mountain King has enough mana, not using it just quite yet. Units are retreating back. split-second late, microsecond differences in this matchup as the Mountain King uses a rejuvenation potion to get a bit more mana again. Death Knight may try to land a Death Coil there. Mountain King should not try to be in that front line spot. It may lose that rejuvenation, which is incredibly important for all of that extra bit of mana. Let's take a look. Extra damage onto the Lich. Stormbolt right there. Death Coil is going to be in time. Mountain King is still in position to try to dive on in as the Destroyer now overhead. Abomination is joining in. Mountain King could be in trouble trying to escape away. Priests are trying to heal. Oh, there goes another Water Elemental as the Death Knight is in that front line spot. Death Knight could be in trouble as he is getting focused down rather fast. Death Knight now escapes back as well as the Riflemen are continuing to battle it up. Abominations in that front line. More Devour magic feeding those Destroyers. Destroyers have not fallen as of yet, as the Riflemen should perhaps be shooting the Obsidian statues as well. Nope, a Destroyer staying alive again at that last moment, as we're looking at three Abominations pretty much surrounding the entire back line. Riflemen showing up to the party, trying to finish off all of those units. More Abominations here. 120 using Abominations like their footmen, just massing them up to try and finish them off. Death Coil just in time, saving that particular Abomination, but it looks like, oh, Scroll of Town Portal a tad too early, allowing that Abomination to stay alive. All right, coming back down to the south here. 120 sitting at 48 supply compared to Hawk's 64. Hawk forced to retreat there, but the Archmage now with an Orb of Fire is going to make it much more difficult for the Death Knight and the Obsidian statues to keep these Abominations topped off. All right, we're looking at an engagement here. Mountain King now looking to back away. Water Elemental could perhaps be trailing as well, perhaps trying to slow down, but then you're just continuing to give more and more. Oh, a Holy Light saving that Paladin right there. Stormbolt. Oh, there is a cancel or a denial right there as that Lich is at level 5. There goes a Rifleman. And even when an Abomination dies due to the Dark Ritual, it does not give experience. That is very, very important, as an Abomination could get taken down right there. There it goes. Mountain King still sitting at level 3, has, well, 500 hit points after that Holy Light, as the Destroyers are trying to eat through all of those Water Elementals. Abomination is going to be in trouble. There's another Dark Ritual. The Lich now back up to maximum mana. Frost Nova onto that Paladin could spell very bad news. Meanwhile, Riflemen shooting all of those units in the back. Well, that Sorceress should not have gotten too close, getting taken down again. Death Knight hoping to get to level 4, Unholy Aura level 2, faster movement speed. Meanwhile, Paladin is coming back across over here. Archmage may be able, no, not going to be able to get to level 5. Simply too many other heroes are here. And level 5 would really give more hit points and, well, better durability for those Water Elementals to counteract the Destroyers. Right now, 2 to 3 Destroyers is enough to constantly handle any Water Elementals that the Archmage may be trying to train up. Taking down a couple of Apprentice Wizards again. Paladin still sitting at level 1. We see Hawk, who has been having the larger army throughout this battle and this game, but not able to really be able to pull out ahead. Remember, 120 has not really gone into high up or low upkeep all that often. Just now getting into low upkeep, perhaps getting ready for another potential battle once more. All right, Rock Golem taken down. Oh, Death Knight taking a little bit of extra damage. We see a Holy Light. Is the Archmage going to be able to finish it off? No, Death Knight able to back up there and head away. Meanwhile, what is going on? Paladin continuing to fight and battle it out. Stormbolt from that Abomination, but another denial. The Lich is using Dark Ritual like a human player would use Staff of Sanctuary. Hey, Chaos Frost, how are you doing? All right, Granite Golem partially damaged. Helm of Valor picked up. Beautiful item for that Mountain King. Perhaps he wished it was strength and intelligence instead, as we're looking at, well, the expansion really not well protected at all. A Frost Nova completely blasting away all of those peasants there, as Hawk's economic advantage is now come to a brutal end. Mountain King gonna make its way back over. Death Knight is right there, down to 320 hit points, has a potion of lesser invulnerability, trying to time it as well. well as the Death Knight. Let's see, are we going to see a Stormbolt? No, we don't. The Death Knight just ran on through, not very concerned at all. Meanwhile, damage getting into those destroyers in the air, orb of fire onto some of them, as we are looking at, what, 5 abominations currently out onto the field. Death Knight, well, unable to save that abomination there. Lines are just all over the place once more. Paladin is going to be in trouble. Is going to be able to perhaps get Divine Shield. Staff of Sanctuary saves that. Mountain King could be in trouble. May need to use a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Meanwhile, all the casters in the back are trying to fight their way through. Lich could be in trouble. Lich down to... Well, Lich now back up to 504 hit points there as the Orb of Fire is causing a little bit of damage again. Lich definitely in trouble now. Does have a Cloak of Shadows. Is it going to be able to stay alive? Does it ever so barely. Mountain King could get a Stormbolt off. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability transferred from the Death Knight to stay alive as the Lich gets up to level 6. Death Knight doesn't have that much mana though, as the Lich needs to get away. There's another bash again. Orb of Fire causing more problems as the Lich falls at level 6. Archmage could fall too though, and there, oh, Potion of Invulnerability transferred again as the Archmage sits alive at 35 hit points. What is going on? Archmage needs to dodge quite a bit of damage, does not do so. The priests were nowhere nearby either, and in a battle of the intellects, strength wins. Death Knight now making its way, chasing after all of those units here as what the Mountain King trying to bat it up. All right, let's take a look. Lich trying to get away. Stormbolt onto the Lich. Archmage shows back up to the party. Death Knight may try to come goss, get a big Death Coil. Paladin is here right behind trying to get off a Holy Light here as we're going to look at some Obsidian statues taken down. Archmage still sitting at level 5. A big Holy Light or Death Coil saving right there as the Archmage was unable to get that Orb of Fire debuff down. Destroyer now devouring magic again. Archmage in serious trouble. Flying Machine really should be going after the destroyers as we're looking at, well, lines just chasing back every which way. Big Frost Nova going down again. Abominations are coming as the Lich has been having so much mana by eating those delicious abominations, getting Frost Nova after Frost Nova down. 42 supply compared to 45 as the Obsidian, Obsidian statue is trying to fly back away. There was a low hit point destroyer, but I believe the Lich would have been able to finish them off still anyways. Meat mana battery. All right. Gold mines have been mined out. Paladin low on mana. Archmage getting healed up as well. Staff of Sanctuary perhaps to try and bounce and heal more units. Hawk sitting at 52 compared to 120's 42. And at this point, I can't imagine the Lich trying to eat more abominations for mana. That is just not what you want to be doing at this point. All right, Rock Golem getting, Granite Golem getting stuck in a strange spot, but at the same time, that clap just deals so much damage to all of those melee units surrounding it. Death Knight not going to really benefit from any extra experience. Going to be able to get the item. What is it? It is a Brilliance Aura as the army now shows up to the party. All right, going to go ahead and try and engage. Abomination shows up as well. Death Knight off over here. Are we going to see? Nope. Death Coil saves the Abomination the first time around, but it's not going to save the second time around. Inner Fire now on the Mountain King as well. Destroyers could really easily just try and devour magic there. As you see, the undead player has unsummoned his Black Citadel for some additional gold. All right, Abomination down to 36. It gets taken down. Paladin healing up the Archmage. Archmage trying to fight back every which way as well. Sorcerer's trying to head back as well as the Paladin is going to be in trouble. There's a Death Coil saving it once more. Mountain King shows up to the party, and that Divine Shield just pretty much lasts forever and a day. Paladin chasing back the other way. Lich could be in trouble. Are we going to see a bash? Yes, bash onto the Death or onto the Lich. Lich now in serious trouble again. What it can really be done as we're looking at the Tome of Agility picked up by the Paladin and saved by a Staff of Sanctuary. Mountain King now, however, in trouble. It's trying to run away. Death Knight now trying to chase after as well. Mountain King has enough for a Stormbolt. What is it going to try and Stormbolt now? Stormbolt's the Death Knight. Death Knight now down to 161. Is it going to be enough? Inner Fire right there. There's a bash, and the Death Knight dies right there from a long distance fireball from the Archmage. Mountain King, well, is it going to be a reversal right there? Mountain King down to 23 hit points. He's able to escape. And in the battle of the intellect, Lich eating up Acolyte, trying to Frost Nova everything to death. Destroyer is still out and about devouring magic, restoring the hit points, and finishing off Priest as well. Lich sitting at level 6. Lich could easily just start nuking down the priest and then finishing off more units. Archmage trying to head back. Every bit of mana is incredibly important. Mountain King shows up. Are we going to see a Stormbolt? Holy Light saving that Mountain King once again. But you got to be careful. That Lich could easily just Frost Nova the Mountain King once more. Ghoul is trying to make their way back over. There's another Frost Nova. Mountain King sitting at 150 hit points. Lich could follow it up with an additional Frost Nova, melt that Mountain King, or I guess freeze that Mountain King, as the Paladin now tries to back up again. All right, Staff of Sanctuary saves the Mountain King out of combat. Water Elementals are here, and now they are deadly. There's no more Destroyers in play. Level 3 Water Elementals causing so many problems, and I believe Hawk is going to take this game. 36 supply compared to 13. All right, Mountain King getting healed up. One full hit point. Rifleman must have been staffed earlier. Paladin now trying to back up again. Water Elementals going after the Obsidian statues. Lich could get up to level 7 here, as we're looking at the Paladin trying to... Oh, Paladin gets blasted. 120 melts or freezes the face of that Paladin, taking him out of commission, and it did not have the Staff of Sanctuary. That is incredibly important. Water Elementals are here getting damage onto that Abomination. Now units are now looking to back up. Archmage needs to head back over. Paladin is getting resurrected. There was enough gold. Archmage perhaps sold some items, keeps the Orb of Fire and that Staff of Sanctuary, perhaps concerned that the Death Knight might be returning. 515 gold. Why is it not training that Death Knight again? Archmage in serious trouble, down to 168 hit points. Mountain King shows up. Lich could just eat an Abomination and then melt that Archmage. That would have been a crazy 1-2 maneuver, but the Mountain King is right there trying to chase. Mountain King shows up. There's the Stormbolt, down to 175. We're going to see there is that eating once again, and that Mountain King forcing 120's hand to try and, deny that Abomination and deny level 5. Stormbolt finishing off there. Acolyte giving that Mountain King level 5 on the dot. 300 hit point Stormbolt now in play. Peasants now still doing that long distance mining. Lich shows up to the party. Lich is, where is it going to try and go? Lich could get taken down. Lich gets a Frost Nova off on the Archmage, but that is going to be its dying act as it gets taken down. What? Oh, Cloak of Shadows. I was like, wait, what just happened? Like, it seemed like the game paused for 3 seconds. I'm just like, wait, what happened? And then I was like, oh yeah, Cloak of Shadows, he hid. Death Knight was coming over, gonna try and Death Coil. And then there was a Dust of Appearance or a reveal, and that was the end. I was like, what? Like, it was like paused, and then fast forward in that last 1 second, like 7 things happened. All right, thanks for watching. Let's take a look at the score. Hawk played very, very well. Hawk having more resources, 120, doing more with what he had. Over almost a 4,500 gold difference there. But Hawk able to come out ahead. After that, Hawk, largest army at 7. You can really tell by the amount of gold lost to upkeep what really happened. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed that.